think it's recording. That's starting recording.
Awesome.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you're here, you're probably wondering how to solve the world's hardest riddle. And if your name isn't Charlie McKelvey, you wouldn't know how. So today we have Charlie with us, and he's going to tell us how he got to step 16 and won our prize of $500. So Charlie, do you want to start off by saying how long this took you to solve?
Alright, so, I mean, it took me a month to solve it, but there's a lot of breaks in between. I think we calculated that it was probably at least over 100 hours of work that I put in.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
But worth it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna teach everyone how you solved it. I think most people quit after step 1 or 2. A few people got to like step 5. And yeah, that's about it. You're the only one to get to step 16. So let's go through it right now.
Alright. So obviously we got the first video that just explained what the challenge was and had a few hints throughout the video, so we'll come back to that later. Obviously then we go to the actual step 1 on Jeffrey's channel. And you know, bunch of the links pop up on the screen. I don't know if you want me to find that right now, but obviously a bunch of links popped on the screen. I just entered I took pictures of them and entered every single one into Google and found every video to check which one was the right one. And there was even a clue video that was hidden in there as well, this one. And that will be important for later. So the right link was this one up here, and it brought us to this video of Jeffrey carving a pumpkin. So I noticed in the description there's a thing that says "I like pumpkins." ... So I'm like, all right, that's a little fishy. That's got to be something. And if you look back in the first video, there's a part on the TV where it shows picture of Jeffrey with pumpkins, and there's a little Instagram logo. So basically, I'll open up Instagram. Means all right. So I was able to find an account called Jeffrey Likes Pumpkins. Oh, and also another thing in the step 2 video was where is it? We got one of our codes right here. Where was it? Yeah, the first code was K right here. So none of these QR codes work. They expired, but they were supposed to Rickroll you, right? Yeah. So then I noticed this in the bio. So first clicking on it's another Rickroll, but I noticed that there's a riddle right here. So I think the answer to the riddle was it 21 or was it 22? I think it was
22 people.
It was 22, yeah. So basically, I was like, well, this says answer the riddle. So what if I put in, instead of that word answer for the riddle, the actual answer of the riddle? So we go to that, take this out, and put 22 people. That brings us to step number 4. So step number 4, Colby comes and sits down and talks about his shirt. So he talks about recommending you checking out the t-shirt, and so if you go to the website and go to the Wake Up With Purpose tee, you go to this shirt down here, and the code and the YouTube link is right there. Yeah, and that'll bring you to this video. So here we have Jeffrey writing an essay called "Take a Closer Look," which is obviously an hint to take a closer look to what he's typing, or on what's on the screen in general. So one thing that I also noticed that stood out was we have blogs. Is a blog spot, I forget what it is, that a page for Jeffrey Lam, and Bitly, which is a hint that the next link is going to be a Bitly link. And so we were able to find, if we go to Jeffrey's blog spot, was it Blogspot? Or is it Blogger? Sorry. It's called Blogger. And then we have the actual essay right here, fully typed out. If you notice, there's a lot of typos. Like there's a T missing here, and there's a bunch of missing letters throughout the whole thing. So what you have to do is find those missing letters, and I believe it gives you the link to the next step. And also there's another there's the fourth character of the code down here. That brought us to this video. So here we just have Colby sitting down reading a good old Dive-Webby book. But if you look carefully, there are subtitles, and it's just like it's just lines from the book. But what I do is I open the transcript. I notice that the first letters of each line spelled out another YouTube link, and that brought us to step number 8. So here we have an Achieve Ed video organization that Jeffrey is a part of, and it's just saying to go follow them on Instagram and basically supposed to check out their website. So, I don't know, what was it? Yeah, and I just knew that I think we found it because Jeffrey goes to Dartmouth, and if you click on Dartmouth, it brings you to step 9. It shows him writing, "I hate pencils." I noticed that, like, you know, we had Jeffrey likes pumpkins, so this would be probably Jeffrey hates pencils. And what helps with this part is clue number 1. It shows Colby putting a book to his face, and then the snap of a pencil, which is, you know, you break a pencil because you hate it. So the book to the face is obviously clue to go to Facebook and search Jeffrey hates pencils. You can tell I've been here a lot. And here we have the next step. A bunch of great pencil puns. And so we have a YouTube link right here. That brings us to the map. There are links in each state. And now, if this is still relating to pencils, there's a state called Pennsylvania. So the correct link is in there. And then down in the description we have rock, paper, scissors links to help you find out which one's the correct one. And or no, that's for later. So you put in that link. All right, and that brings us to this Google Forms page. The one here, step 10. Now this is where you have to put all in your information. And at the bottom there's a question. So what is Jeffrey's favorite animal? And in his original video, he randomly says, "My favorite animal is a monkey." So I put that there. And I guess that's just to prove that you actually paid attention to the whole thing. You didn't cheat. So you submit it, and then the next page it will give you a link to step 10, which I have right here. Now step 10 is a 20-hour video. Now this was probably one of the most tricky parts for me to figure out. What ended up being was, you know, there's music that plays in the background. That's actually Jeffrey Lamb's music, and there's 2 songs in there. There's Rise and Shine. Rise. You see down here, shop at Euroflex and use promo code RISE. And it says the same thing on the Shine video, but with Shine. So what I did was I go to Euroflex. I took this shirt, added it to the cart. You don't have to buy anything, you just go to the checkout so you can use the promo code function. if we put in rise, there's a certain amount of money that's taken off. 1232. So what that actually is telling you is go to that timestamp on the 20-hour video. Then we got a YouTube link right there. So this brings you to a Mr. Beast video called Microwaving a Microwave. And this is a hint to look at the microwave in the first video. If you remember, there was one sitting under Colby's TV. And bam, we got 243 right here. So that's it to go to another timestamp. There's another YouTube link. I think this gave us clue number 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it brings you to this video. So this first part is information that we'll need later, and then we got another code here, and we got rock, paper, scissors. Links in the description. So you go through them. You're supposed to find which one's the winner. I'm pretty sure it's the paper. Yep, paper's the winner, and that references back to the map video, and paper was the Google Sites. So that's the information we're gonna need later. Now, like I said, there was also a code for shine. So if we put shine in, that brings it to 1669. Obviously, that's not an actual time code, but if you just translate it to an actual time, it would be 1709. So remember, this one you have to be real careful because this one only pops up for a short period of time. It's like only 1 frame long. And that tripped me up originally when doing it because I didn't notice that at first. So yeah, there's our Google Sites link. Next clue, woohoo. So this brings us to clue number 3. So first we have this math equation, and then we have this converter chart for the numbers to letters of what the next code is going to be. And also another important tab is this clues button right here. These are for an important step. So basically what this equation is, it's a bunch of pictures. So what they refer to is different Mr. Beast videos, because this is a very Mr. Beast inspired challenge. So you're supposed to find what videos they correlate to, and each of those videos has a number related to that video, and you're supposed to input it for each one. Solve the equation. Once you have the equation, you use the number to convert to letters, and the final code, remember, was AZZIP. So, yeah, so I think what you would do here is you would go to sites.google.com/view/AZIP, and here we have step 11. So yeah, so we have a bunch of YouTube links, and now they look all the same. They're all Rickroll. At least you think they're all Rickrolls. What some people don't know is that, you can type out the link and list it, but you could have it linked to a different link using hyperlinks. Because as I hover over this one, if you look in the bottom left corner of Chrome, you can see that's a different link that it's going to direct you to. So what you can do is you can try to copy this link and put it in, but it's not going to work because it's an incorrect link. So what that means is there's one link in this list of, what was it, 1,000 links?
5,000.
5,000. One of these is different than the others. Now, you can go through the pain of searching through all of them. Obviously, one thing that you will find is when you go to the bottom, you will find our next code. Go all the way to the bottom. Yeah, we got code Q. If you click on that button, you get another Rickroll. But So obviously we gotta find which one is the right one. If you use Control F, you can paste in that link you copied, and now it tells you how many search results there are. So 1 out of 1,000. So there's 1,000 on this page. It means that there's none that are different. Command F. There are none that are different. The next page is the one that should have it. And F. Yep, you see 999. So scroll down. There's going to be one that's not highlighted. Right here. This is our code. So you gotta highlight it, copy it, paste, and here we have our next clue video. So yeah, we have this video of Jeffrey wearing his beautiful Past Amazing merch, and he suspiciously slowly says the words, "Hey guys." And now there's a whole essay in this description. It's another red herring. It leads you to nowhere. But if you go to Jeffrey's channel and go to featured channels, there's another channel of him wearing the same shirt. And there's a video called Hey Guys. Click on that video. At the end, we have our next code, and then in the description, it says new banner, new channel. So obviously you gotta look at the banner. See, there's a bunch of like regular looking ones, but there's one of him that has a Twitter logo on it. So if we go to Twitter, there's step 13. Alright. So obviously there's another code right here. We got T. And it's called Jeffrey Likes Pigs, but that doesn't really have any meaning to it. What it is there's a bunch of riddles. And so what you have to do is you have to solve all the riddles, getting the right answers. And if you take the first letter of every answer and put it backwards, you get a tiny URL link. So this is the link right here. Go to it, and it'll bring you to step 14. Now, we have a vast arrangement of playing cards. Some are flipped over, whatever. And at the end, there's some that have letters on them. So I'm just going straight to the back of this one. This one we have E, and then this is our code. And so now I made the assumption that ended up being correct, that this would be not included because it's a separate code card. Also, you'll see there's this button here that says click here for step 15, and it brings you to Jeffrey's channel. Now, which there isn't anything noticeable there at first. I thought it was like another troll maybe, but it seemed fishy because it didn't rickroll me, instead it brought me to an actual channel. So I was stuck on this step for the longest time, and this is where I almost gave up. And one of the things that I was still thinking about was, in this clue video, this first part, there wasn't a use for it yet. I didn't have a meaning yet. And now I noticed that, it's a card being swiped in a credit card reader. And one of the things I remember is in the first video, there's also this girl reaching for a Queen of Hearts. And what I know is that this is a thumbnail stolen from another Mr. Beast video where he gives people his credit card. So I'm like, the card is replacing the credit card. And there's a credit card reader in this clue video. Basically what that meant was the hearts were declined, meaning you had to ignore the hearts. I took out all the hearts and I end up having this code. I noticed that there was the N and the E, which I thought could maybe stand for northeast, meaning it's coordinates. So I took the W out because that didn't mean anything. The K gets translated to a 13 because that's what a king equals in the succession. And And the blank cards end up being the decimal points. So if you use those, let's copy that, and let's take a trip to Google Earth. So if you go to the search, you can see it's already in my search history right here. So if you paste that in, and you hit enter, it takes you right to the Tokyo Tower in Japan. And now, so I'm like, this obviously isn't a coincidence, because it's a very well-known monument, and it'd be weird that a random number that I put in would just bring you there. So I knew it had to be a clue. And I remembered that that link on the page brought me to Jeffrey's channel. I went searching through his videos to find if there was any thing that had the Tokyo Tower in the thumbnail. I ended up finding, if I scroll down here a bit, my builder is in Japan. I'm like, Japan, Tokyo Tower's in Japan, obviously. So right away we have this. Doesn't seem like anything at first. Scroll down, there's a comment here that a month ago that says, shh, be quiet. So obviously there's something here. To hit the little info box, we have code 2. There we go. And now, in Jeffrey's first step 1 video, he mentions that it might be the free gems link in the description. Well, I go down and I see the free gems link, and it's a tiny URL. I'm like, that's different than the others. You click on it, we got step 15.
You are so close to solving the world's hardest riddle. You just have one more step after this, and to get there, you're gonna finally put that 11 character code to use. You should have 10 characters of it right now, and the last character is another K. So all you have to do is type tinyurl.com/those 11 characters in order, and that'll bring you straight to step 16, the last step of the world's hardest riddle. See you there.
So yeah, so I had been keeping track of all the codes from the past steps, and I was able to fill out the right code, which was this. T32. And then I put the last K like he said. And then bam, we have the final video. Riddle solved. And there's just some steps to confirm that you are the first one. But yeah. That's how I solved the world's hardest riddle.
And then the next day, we took a trip to Charlie's house. We gave him his prize, $500, because he couldn't solve it the first night. But very well deserved, and I could tell he was so happy to finally solve it after all those hours, and very well deserved. Definitely the smartest person on the planet now, confirmed. I have to say. Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically exactly how you solve it. It's not easy at all. Charlie knows. It took so much longer than anyone expected, but he did it. And he's the only one to do it on the entire planet. So major props. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I was gonna say I had a lot of fun doing it. I had seen these kind of things like this before. There's a certain term for them, but I forget what they're called. But I'd always thought about attempting one if one ever came a chance, and I saw this cup pop up, and I'm like, I think I could do this. It seems like fun. I love this kind of riddle solving, and yeah, and I did it.
You did it. Yep, this was a great experience. I'm very glad you enjoyed and was able to solve it. And thank you, Jeffrey, for all your contributions as well. I hope you had fun too. Even though you just had your wisdom teeth out, you can't really talk. But yeah. Maybe he's just watching High School Musical right now.
Congratulations, Charlie, on your on solving the riddle. I think you're very smart for being able to do it. I thought
Thanks.
it wouldn't be able to be solved. But you proved me wrong.
I almost did too. I nearly gave up, and the last day came. I'm like, I'll give it one last shot, and I got it.
Round of applause. So yeah, if anyone is watching this and is wondering how he did it, this is exactly how. And the riddle's going to be up for a couple more days, and then we're going to shut it down for good. And yeah. What do you think you're going to do with that $500, Charlie?
I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, it does help cover the cost of some of the Christmas presents I had to get for my family. I think the rest, I'm going to try my best to save it because I am a college student and money's tight.
Yeah. Yep, aren't we all? Okay, well, congratulations again. Very well deserved. And yeah, I'll probably post this within the next couple days.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to end my recording right now.